This is KGW News at noon.
Good afternoon. Our top story today at noon is an update on the FBI's raid of former President Donald Trump's Mar-A-Lago estate in Florida last month. In a legal victory for the former president, a federal judge has granted his request for a special master. The special master will look through documents that were seized by the FBI and weed out any that might be protected by attorney-client privilege or executive privilege. The judge also put a temporary hold on the Justice Department's use of the records for investigative purposes. Meanwhile, one of our top local stories this afternoon comes from Vancouver, where deputies have arrested a man accused of kidnapping a woman at Knifepoint early this morning. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says the woman was in her car at the intersection of Mill Plain and Grand Boulevard when a man walked up to her window and asked for some water. They say she gave him some water, but she also let him in her car, and that's when he pulled out a knife and forced her to drive him to Camas. At around 4:30 this morning, she managed to get out of the car near Northeast 28th Street and 233rd Avenue. The Sheriff's Office says she's okay, and deputies were able to find her car and the suspect. He's now facing several charges, including kidnapping and robbery. Let's get to some of this afternoon's other headlines, starting north of Seattle, where crews continue to search for 9 missing passengers after a float plane crashed near Whidbey Island Sunday afternoon. There were 10 people on board altogether, including 1 child. The body of 1 passenger has already been recovered, but again, 9 others are still missing. The plane took off yesterday from Friday Harbor and was headed to Renton. It was last seen near Oak Harbor about 18 minutes into what was only supposed to be a 50-minute flight. The U.S. Coast Guard joined other agencies with boats and helicopters helping in this search. Kaiser police say a homeowner shot and killed someone who allegedly broke into their home. This happened early Sunday morning at a home on Mayfield Place North near the Willamette River. Police still haven't provided a lot of details about this other than someone broke into the home. Someone was woken up by this. The owner fired a gun, hitting and killing the intruder. Portland police are investigating a suspected homicide in southeast Portland. Officers arrived at a home in the Lentz neighborhood around 5:45 yesterday morning and found 1 man dead inside. So far, there's no word on exactly how he died, and there's no information yet about any suspects. And that's a look at some of today's local headlines. We also have an update on a fire that destroyed 2 food carts at a food cart pod in North Portland. The fire started yesterday around 3 in the afternoon near the intersection of North Fremont and Vancouver Avenue. Firefighters kept the flames from spreading, but not before they wiped out 2 carts, Monkey Thai Street Food and Pepe Chile Taqueria. The owner of Pepe Chile says the fire not only destroyed his truck, but years of hard work.
Well, it's really hard to open a business. It's not easy to people know you and get a good taco. It was days and hours and no sleep, you know?
I got out in the back at a Thai restaurant in the back there. I saw smoke. I'm the first one saw them. And after I called 911, call the police, call 911.
The 2 food cart owners believe the fire was accidental, but the official cause is still under investigation. Portland fire officials are also asking people to be on the lookout for someone who's been setting fires near Mount Tabor Park. They've set between 15 and 20 fires in just the last 2 weeks. Firefighters are worried right now because things are so dry and a small fire could quickly turn big. The fires have also been getting closer to homes, and the majority of them have started at night. So anyone who spots anything unusual should contact Portland Fire and Rescue. That number is 503-823-3473. We're checking in on Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler's emergency declaration to ban homeless camping near schools. It's actually been about 2 weeks now since that ban was put in place, and some parents say many of the camps haven't been cleared. Here's KGW's Blair Bess with more.
There are several campsites here along Northwest Hoyt. It's one of the routes to school that the city said campers are no longer allowed on. But as you can see, they're still here. And many tell us they have no plans of leaving anytime soon or anywhere else to go. A green tent sits in protest on the corner of Northwest Hoyt and 19th, near the Metropolitan Learning Center.
I'm just keeping my tent here up for protesting reasons.
It was posted for removal on September 1st, since it's within 150 feet from a school, meaning it's in violation of Mayor Ted Wheeler's new ban on camping near school campuses, which started about 2 weeks ago.
Saying that this is an illegal campsite, and was saying that there are plenty of shelters that you can go to.
But Joseph Riandu would rather stay on the streets than go into a shelter.
I don't feel very safe staying there because some of the people that room there make me and my partner uncomfortable. So we would rather stay in a tent.
They're currently on a wait list for a housing voucher. Until then, they plan to stay on this corner in spite of the city's orders.
I could move my tent today if I wanted to, but it's more of just a moral thing. I want to sit and protest for a few days. I believe that our city and our government should give us more resources.
For other homeless people on this street, they find the ban on camping confusing.
They're telling people to move. They're not banning it. They're just telling people to move from here to here and not giving people nowhere to go.
They keep saying they'll clean it up, and it's still sitting there, all the junk. And I mean, it's been weeks since I walked this 5 times a day.
Michelle Scott lives across the street from the Metropolitan Learning Center. She's now trying to move due to these camps.
They walk around and they pee or poop wherever they want to. They have their pants down. I don't understand how they can have this around children.
She says the campsites have gotten worse since the start of the school year, despite city crews attempting to move them.
They have come through a few times to clear it up, and an hour and a half later we get as many, if not even more.
It's just a huge thing to address.
Heather Begetz frequents the nearby park with her daughter.
How are we humanely addressing it? I think when the city just does sweeps, it's kind of just displacing a lot of people without really addressing the core issue.
Well, I understand it because I know that some people that stay in the streets can be sketchy and some people do hard drugs. And there are some people that live on the streets that can be sexual predators. So I understand their concern. But people like me who are just trying to find a place to stay until we can get resources.
The city has identified and cleared dozens of campsites near schools, and they say that list will just continue to grow. And if there are repeat campers, they'll just repost the site for removal. In Northwest Portland, Blair Best, KGW News.
Meanwhile, in Vancouver, there's a new affordable housing complex near Peace Health Southwest Medical Center. And with housing in high demand, 69 of those units are already filled. It's completely filled. It's called Columbia Heights. It was developed through a partnership between Mercy Housing Northwest and Peace Health. It includes a community center and a playground. We spoke to a woman named Jana Nickerson who was homeless for a year and a half, living in her car at times before she got the help she needed to get a place to live. She moved in here 3 weeks ago.
It's like you're floating in air when it finally does. You just feel so joyous and happy and blessed, and just, it's amazing.
Half the units are filled with people who make 30% of the area median income. The other half are for people who make 50% of that number. All right, something we haven't mentioned yet, Rod, here during the news at noon. Today is Labor Day. So what do you have for us on this Labor Day Monday?
Beautiful day. Not only is everybody getting sunshine, we have smokier or hazier conditions near and east of the Cascades. But here on the west side, it's pretty much just clear and absolutely wonderful. And temperatures aren't going to be overly hot across the state. So this is Chinook Winds Casino Resort. Camera, you see people out there enjoying the beach, 64 degrees. At noon, here's Stoller Family Vineyards Estate in Dayton, up to 70 degrees. And downtown Portland, just as sunny. And we are also at 70 here at high noon. So we are running cooler than yesterday. Yesterday, PDX made it to 87. We'll be up to about 82 for high. That's pretty much normal for Labor Day, by the way. And then 74 at 8 o'clock. Coming up, the 7-day forecast is still amazingly dry. That means we are still on track to possibly reach the longest stretch in history recorded for no more than a trace of rain. And with 90-degree temperatures returning tomorrow, we're also tracking that record of 31 90-degree days back in 2018. More on all of that coming up.
All right, Rod, we appreciate the update. We're also going to come back here at noon with a story about the 2 largest wildfires that are burning right now in Oregon. But before we get to that story, we also have one about the Portland Fire Department and the ongoing staffing shortages that are making firefighting in the city extremely difficult.